is no better way to close the weekend out here with maybe two of the most imposing figures
Take it
in the
easy there, bud.
backyard wrestling circuit here today. Yes, these men have plenty to say, and that's why they're replenishing themselves with liquids and solid foods, because they are going to push back against these outsiders that have tried to create headlines here in BTW or have talked about that they're going to be kings of the West and they're going to solidify their statuses, or maybe even have expanded their group. They're going to push back on all of that. They're going to talk about what is in store coming up here in less than 48 hours. BTW Rumble 9. And well, the man that I'm looking at right here on the left side of me is going to be such a busy man. Maybe they should just rename the BTW Rumble to the RTG Rumble, because after all, he's going to not only be defending those tag team championships, he's also going to be in action defending his Continental Championship, but he is also going to be in action in that 15-man Rumble. And oh, he's got plenty to say about that. And then the man next to him is, oh, by the way, only the reigning, defending BTW heavyweight champion. And oh boy, he doesn't even have to say anything, because we know just his presence alone on this platform is going to scare the likes of RJS. It's going to certainly make Comatose a lot more quieter, because maybe he should focus on, well, maybe Mad Jack after what Mad Jack did to him, and some guy who's undefeated so far in BTW, but something tells me the headline would be Blackout and Aaron Blaze. Blackout may very well continue his reign. But before we get into all of that, and since we are here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, and we are certainly born to talk about Born to Wrestling out of beautiful Roseburg, Oregon, I am going to give our guest, as I say in plural, that introduction, as they have certainly helped build the Sportswire radio platform to the tune of nearly 1,500 subscribers and celebrity after celebrity recently. And I see our chat is starting to grow. They want it. Our guests want it. And I want it. So in the words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, let's get rocked, baby. And let's start this show off here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music matters and all matters. So with ado here on the Sports Report.
Yes.
Number one.
Nothing better.
Sports show from the Northwest Society. First, the reigning, defending BTW heavyweight champion of the world. His name is simply put Blackout. And the man that is not once, not twice, but 3 times a Hall of Famer. 2 of them from Sportswire Radio. He is the general manager, the brains behind Born to Wrestle. He is the reigning, defending BTW Continental Champion. 1/3, you might say, of the reigning, defending BTW Tag Team Champions of the world. His name is simply The champs are here. My friends, how are we doing?
We're doing just fine. Tom, you know you can't spell GOAT without the G, baby.
I was gonna do the baby, but considering it's the two of you here, I don't want to make you wait too much longer with the intro. So I know we have a lot to get into, and something tells me you have BTW roster members that are going to want to confront you guys very soon. I mean, I'm not sure why they would want to do that, but apparently I have received word from that.
Take it easy there, guy. Take it easy. He's letting everybody know what he thinks about him.
Well, understandably so. I mean, I certainly can't blame the champion, but let's get right into it. I see the chat is here, and we'll get to the chat in a little while. But for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you gentlemen, along with BTW, have most certainly helped build, Sportswire Radio, tell us, what can we expect from you guys this Tuesday, BTW Rumble 9?
You can expect more dominance from the Northwest Society. My Munster, the blackout here, the most dominant BTW World Heavyweight Champion of all time, is going to take Mr. Aaron Blase and tear him from limb to limb, leave him down there. He's going to, I know, I'll be a little respectful, Aaron is talking a bunch of crap about how he's 4-0 or undefeated here in BTW.
Comatose was here 2 weeks ago. It was almost 2 weeks ago that came up. He was undefeated, and Comatose was taking a loss to Mad Jack. So, yeah, that was a topic, sure. No question.
But he hasn't faced anybody the caliber of this man right here. I mean, yeah, he shot for the stars when he came in and he won it, called out the beast. And he had to go through BES to get to this guy. But yeah, still, they're not the caliber of this guy right here. And they're not the caliber of me, frankly.
But how does that make you guys feel that all these outsiders, you know, we've talked about Comatose over the last year. Certainly Mr. Blaze is going to be a topic, no question, throughout the conversation. Even the BCF3 have grown. I mean, all these different people that aren't homegrown BTW talent have come in here now, and they want to take over what you guys have built.
Well, you know, any champion, whether it's continental, heavyweight, tag team,
right,
even TV champion, when you're the best in your company, you're the best in all of something, all companies. You know, of course, I think we're the best backyard wrestling company out there. People want to come in. We've got targets on our chest, on our backs. They want to come in and say, hey, we beat the GOAT, the RTG. We beat the most dominant heavyweight champion in backyard wrestling and blackout. That's what they're shooting for. And that's what me and Blackout are the only two people in backyard wrestling that can take everybody's best shot and keep on winning.
You know, you said something interesting, and I want to go back to that for a minute, because these guys are coming in, and BTW now is a company that we know gets a lot of views. We know the subscriber counts. We know the engagement on social media. But I feel like for both of you guys, the start of this season is different than last season. It's almost as if you guys are the ones being hunted. It's almost as if there's more pressure on you guys. Obviously, RTG, your career is still on the line. Do you guys feel more pressure because you guys are having to defend what's rightfully yours? And there's certainly a bigger focus on BTW as a whole.
I love that there's more focus. I love that there's more people wanting to come out here, but, you know, there were some that were supposed to come and didn't quite make it. You know, life happens, you know.
That's it.
So hopefully, you know, in the future, they can make it out here and take a shot at my title, take a shot at me, take a shot at my Munsters title, take a shot at Gabriel James, the tag team titles.
But there's guys that have come here and guys that are back here with a new focus. You know, I brought up Mad Jack as an example. That's a totally different Mad Jack we saw last season to this one. You know, Andre Xavier is now a part of the roster. You know, Comatose has signed a 3-year contract. And then the guy that you call him Aaron Blase. I mean, you know.
Aaron, get it right. Aaron Blase.
but I got the last name right. But
Yeah.
these guys have come in here, and it's you, RTG. You and the Northwest Society have helped grow BTW to what it is, and these guys almost just want to come in and just take over and push you guys to the side and end your career while you're at it.
Well, I mean, we are the best of BTW, the two of us right here. And Gabriel James is coming up. We're mentoring him into a future champion.
Right,
But, we do have others, the beast. People want to see what they can do against Swift. He is pound for pound the strongest guy in backyard wrestling, in my opinion. Yep. Then you got RJS, of course. And I'll be a little respectful to Aaron Blaze looks up to him. He wants to try and knock his idol off, him and BES. He looks up to the two of them.
Well,
he
wants to try and last week. I mean, that was, a match.
That was a banger, right?
Absolutely. Yeah,
you come to BTW to have bangers against the best in the backyard.
I think I banged my leg on my desk while I was watching the match. While I was eating dinner, or lunch, whatever time it was, and 1:00 in the morning. My eating patterns are weird. It could be dinner, it could be lunch, but yeah, they definitely had a classic, no question about that last week. But no pressure. Then you don't feel the pressure from all these different people.
No, because like I always say, it's my saying, I'm playing chess, they're playing checkers. They're trying to get all these great moves in, and all these, they're worried about having 6 or 7 star matches, whatever, people rate, the best matches or whatever, they're trying to get those stars.
Yeah. Copper's been a little quiet.
Yeah. Copper. So. Yeah. They're trying to get his 6 stars or 7 stars, whatever his highest is. Me, I'm thinking about what's best for BTW, bringing in these guys, because it's going to bring more views.
You had a well-documented history with
and
you signed him. You did re-sign him.
And there's a reason I still have this, and there's a reason he still has that.
All right, but let me ask you another question, because I know that Blackout doesn't have to say a single thing. His presence alone is a big deal on Sportswire. But let me ask you this. You are pulling not just double duty, but triple duty here coming up this Tuesday. I mean, what's the focus for you then? How are you going to be able to juggle all that? You got the tag titles, you got the Continental title, and you got the Rumble. I mean...
Well, back in, I believe it was the first episode of the season, Blackout and Gabriel James destroyed the BCF guys.
Yes.
So I don't foresee anything else other than that happening again. So we're not going to do the Freebird rules with the tag titles. I'm going to take that match off. I'm going to be in the back doing, stuff for the Rumble, getting ready for that later on, and getting ready for my Continental Championship match against El Basico later that day.
Basico. You're going to be...
The tag team champions are going to go out there on their own, because I don't foresee, we got Blackout.
Yeah, I don't
Gabriel James is up and coming. So
you can take the night off on that one, but you still got to defend the Continental Championship, and you've got to be a part of the Rumble. And what's your thoughts on the Rumble here, because that was a big topic with Comatose a couple of weeks ago, a big topic here on Sportswire.
So again, playing chess, not checkers. In the first, I forget which episode, first, second, which one, I made the big long dialogue about how I'm treating this as an exhibition match. So what that means is that I know when I get in that ring, all of them are going to want to attack me, toss me over, thinking that they're going to retire the giant, the G, right? It ain't going to happen. It's an exhibition match because of that. So if I get eliminated, I'm not retiring. This match
you're not being pinned. Theoretically, speaking,
I'm not being pinned, and it's not something I can control.
That's fair.
I'll throw myself in a three-way or a four-way. There is a little bit I can control in that. This, like I said, there could be 8 guys in there. All 8 of them are going to try and throw me out of the ring, because they want to get rid of the baddest guy in the ring first, and then they're going to fight it out.
Does that worry you, that you're going to basically have all these different members of the roster who may not necessarily be, let's say, on the same page, but now they're going to want to team up to get RTG baby out there. I mean, you are the GOAT. You are, 3-time Hall of Famer. You've got all this gold and accomplishments, and they're going to want to try to team up and dump you out quicker than a New York minute.
Well, yeah, and that's why I put this little thing, disclaimer in there. That's an exhibition match, because it happens in every Rumble that we have. When I get in, they all attack me, get rid of me, so that's why I'm not being retired if I get eliminated from this match. But yeah, obviously I'm giving everybody in that ring something to come together, and they're coming after me. I know that going in. Maybe that's the one time I played checkers and pissing all these people off.
Let me ask you though this question. Now, what if you win the Rumble? What if you win it? What do you do?
Well, if I win the Rumble, obviously that's a free shot at BTW Mania at my Munster here.
I would think maybe you just do that and just maybe say, you know what, I'm not going to go up against Blackout, and he's your man.
I mean, technically, it's for any title. Usually we put the winner against the heavyweight champion, but
you could go for the television championship.
I could go for the television championship, or I could make Comatose's BYW promotional championship consequential by going after that and winning it and shutting him up.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
or God forbid, Gabriel James and Blackout lose the tag team titles. Go back for those.
Something, but obviously you're going into the Rumble. You want to win the Rumble, right?
Everybody wants to win the Rumble.
But that scenario has certainly crossed your mind, right? It has to have crossed your mind that you could win the Rumble, and it could be you and Blackout, or maybe you'll have the finger poke of doom, the famous finger poke of doom between Hogan and Nash, and you'll let Blackout, give you the finger poke, and he'll retain the title.
Yeah, but if I do that, I'm retired. So,
or I suppose the other way around. Then in that case,
if anything, it would be me giving him the finger poke.
Well, in that case, that would be something.
I would not disrespect my champion that way, though.
But no, but obviously, though, that it is still something that's crossed your mind that even though it's an exhibition match, you could win the Rumble. I mean, because again, all these different people are going to go out against you. That does mean that some of them may just mess up, and you may hang in there longer than they realize, and you win the thing. I mean, there's always that possibility. We see it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, in WWE, what's his face?
I mean, Randy Orton famously one year just stayed all the way outside the ring and laid and came in. And I mean, we've seen this before in situations.
Well, I can't think of his name. It's Santino Marella.
Santino.
The year he was out, they thought he was eliminated. Del Rio thought he won. He came in and almost won it,
And famously, Mick Foley one year actually entered the Royal Rumble as Mankind, Cactus Jack, and Duke.
3 different guys. Yeah.
There's definitely scenarios out there. Okay, so we'll come back to some of that in a minute. I want to give a plug to BTW because I've received word already somebody wants to confront you. But before we get to that, go hit the sub button for our friends in BTW.
All right, Comatose, get in here.
Well, I mean, I don't know who that is. I mean, I would love to tell you. But I actually
my guess is it's one of two people. It's either Domatos or Aaron.
Those are obviously great guesses. I mean, I would love to tell you, but I don't know definitively.
All right, bring him in.
All right, okay. You know what? I'll just take this off the screen and we'll get to it right now because you know what? Usually I build up for it. Yesterday's guest, Anthony Steele, made his guest wait. He's like, no, I'm finishing what I have to say. But no, you're just like, you know what? I want to get right to it. You know what? I respect your wishes. And we're going to do that here because for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform where certainly BTW is most certainly helped build here, Sportswire Radio, we are joined by the reigning, defending BYW Interpromotional Champion, the king of...
Take it easy there, big guy. Take it easy. Yeah, I feel the same way about him, but take it easy.
I'm going to let you take the floor, Comatose.
Come on.
What's going on, man?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know already, my name is Comatose, your backyard wrestling interpromotional champion. And if anyone could pay attention to what just happened on the screen here on Sportswire Radio, we just saw Blackout freak out. Ladies and gentlemen, why did Blackout just freak out? Maybe it's because last year in the 2024 BTW Rumble, your interpromotional champion Comatose got screwed out of a win. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am here to tell you tonight that the 2025 BTW Rumble will be won by none other than your King of the West, Comatose. And I know RTG is sitting there right now, rolling his eyes, sighing, and doing the whole old person thing, checking his joints, making sure the dust is off. But, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not focused on RTG because me and you have done this before, RTG. Let's face it. And let's face it, you beat me because you had multiple people to help you take that title off of me. Now I don't want
I did it all by myself.
Now I don't want your interpromotional title if I do win the BTW Rumble. What I want is your monster. What I want is to become the very, very best in BTW. You want to know why I know that that's going to happen? Because Comatose holds this championship. And Blackout holds that championship. So what does that mean if Comatose holds the BYW Interpromotional Championship
Not a whole lot.
along with the BTW Heavyweight Championship?
Ain't gonna
And
happen, buddy.
you say not a whole lot, RTG, but let me ask you a question to answer a question. When was the last time you held that championship?
When was the last time I went for that championship?
And that brings me to my next question. You sit here and say, oh, the BTW Rumble is for any championship. You want to know what that sounds like to me, RTG? That sounds like to me cowardice. That sounds like to me a man that knows that there was someone sitting right beside him that can end his career. But not only that, RTG, I know you have a little bit of fear in the fact that Comatose could win the BTW Rumble. And you want to know why? Because last year in BTW, your monster wasn't the only one to dominate the scene.
You know what, Comatose? Keep talking, and my monster will make that other eye look like your left eye. All right?
Okay. Okay.
You want two black eyes, mister? Come tomorrow or Tuesday, it could happen. You never know.
You did say though when you were here last, we put the words on Instagram up that you want the BTW Heavyweight Championship. You know, we talked about it here when you were here 2 weeks ago about the fact you've certainly done a lot. It's been quite a comeback, but to fully complete that comeback, to fully complete that journey, you've got to win that BTW Rumble and give yourself a shot at BTW Mania here upcoming and square off with Blackout for that heavyweight championship. I mean, talk about that importance of what's before you less than 48 hours from now.
The importance of me winning the BTW Rumble is simply this. Like you said, Tom, it is to complete the circle, to get not the 6th, not the 7th, but the 8th World Championship of all across backyard wrestling. RTG.
You know what?
RTG.
Comatose.
I'm going to interrupt you right now as the first person in history to interrupt your ass because I've heard enough. Ladies and gentlemen, if Comatose comes to BTW and he wins the heavyweight championship, and then not only wins their heavyweight championship, wins an 8th title in backyard wrestling.
I don't know if I'll be able to save you.
Does that make Comatose the GOAT because I actually earn my titles? I actually earn my titles. I don't go behind the scenes. I don't talk to general management. I don't go to creative and be like, oh, ladies and gentlemen, I need a title win to continue to cement my legacy. No, Comatose.
Tom, can you get in some Kleenex? The tears are coming pretty fast and hard here. The whining.
I can give you RTG an opportunity to respond. I can't give him Kleenex because I I can't do that virtually, but I can give you an opportunity to respond if you like.
You know what, Comatose, you talk and you talk about how great you are, but yet last season, every time it was on the line, every time you were going for the major championships, you choked, mister. And God forbid you win the Rumble and you get a shot at this guy, you're just gonna choke it away like you always do. Talk yourself up. Think you're the GOAT. You can't spell GOAT without the G, baby. I'm the only GOAT here in BTW.
No, RTG,
Now,
I'm actually, RTG, I'm going to help you out here, and I'm going to be a little objective here in a minute because Comatose, you've got the Rumble. You talked a lot about that 12 days ago, but you still got to prepare for a war before that Rumble with Mad Jack and RJS. We spoke a lot about that. And how are you, going into this now? We're less than 48 hours away from that. I mean,
television
you might
championship.
be in more of a disadvantage than anybody else that's competing going into the Rumble because we know what Mad Jack put you through. We know how tense it's gotten between you and RJS. And how are you going to be able to pick up what's left for you to go into this Rumble and win it?
Great point, Tom. And that segued me into my next comment. And I'm glad that you interrupted me so we can get a little RTG commentary because now it is time for the big boys to talk. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to enter this triple threat. And it's going to be me, Mad Jack, and RJS. RJS, a person that I know very, very well. And Mad Jack, another person that I know very, very well for different reasons. Here's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. As I stated on the past podcast that was Sportzwire Radio, what did Comatose do when he debuted on this very podcast? Can you explain to the world, Tom, what Comatose did his very first podcast on Sportswire Radio?
Well, you were the first person to have been here with 3 championship belts. I mean, you were the first one to have won 3 championship belts here simultaneously. And, you certainly did that. Yes, you did. You did.
Yes, sir. So now let me remind the world. If I already did it once and it took RTG multiple men to take one of them off me, and not only multiple men, but it took an entire season for one man to muster up the strength to take a title that I took to the very top, higher than your own champions taking the heavyweight championship. If it took all that, what makes you, RTG, think that I can't win not only the television triple threat, but the BTW Rumble and walk on this very platform once again as a triple champion?
Let's see. TLC match with BES loss. Match with
Non-title.
me for Continental Championship. No, it was a number 1 contender, so you might as well count it as a championship because you would have got the shot at RJS, but you lost.
So are we counting? So you talk so
me
highly
against
of BES. Are you
Continental,
counting
you
that
lost.
against him with Aaron Blaze too?
You lost. See, I'm sure there was other championships that you lost. Television championship to RJS at the end. You lost. You're pissing him off, so I'd shut up. He might not even make it to the Rumble. He might just tear your head off before the Rumble. So, me, beat you, beat everybody else, beat BS, beat Swift, beat RJS. I beat them all. And most of you say, oh, I had to have extra people. Well, whatever. I didn't see anybody helping me in any of those matches. I did the work.
Well, I have
Gabriel James might have paid off the referee or whatever, or tried to, but I threw him out of the ring, and then I pinned your ass.
Well, I have received word that there is somebody else that's here.
Oh my God! What's up, Aaron?
Well, I guess
is this about to get good, Tom? Hold on, wait. Is this about to get good, Tom?
Well, we're just put it this way. We're not going to have on Mikey D. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
I love Mikey
D.
All
that needs to be said.
All right. The Queen of the West Coast needs to be quiet. And,
here's to a 2025 Rumble win by Comatose.
Yes, RTG, did you want to say something before I bring
I was just saying the Queen of the West Coast can just shut up there. Because he ain't no king. That's the queen right there. And you can bring in the downsider or whatever he calls himself, was a headliner. You know,
I
he's
think that's
the
what President Trump
downsider.
was trying to do to the federal government, but let's not certainly go there. But we are joined here by the aforementioned headline. Aaron Williams. You did say a little bit about RTG, and he's here to give his side of the story here for a few minutes before we come. So the baton is yours.
I'm going to make this short and sweet. I can't breathe. I'm running off of 3 hours of sleep. My eyes are watery. My allergies are kicking my ass. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
this
make this
guy is going to
short.
kick your ass in 2 days.
Oh my god. Anyway, I hope everyone's enjoying Sportswire, and I hope everyone is getting ready for the inevitable. 18 World Championships. It's happening. I'm just making it a known fact. Blackout has had many challengers, but this is his biggest test. So I hope you're ready, Blackout. And I would be representing, but I'd rather not get snot and freaking tears all over BTW apparel, so I'd rather just do it on my stuff. My point is, people can play patty cake in a rumble. They can get ready for
God's
the
country
Continental
strength.
title. They can get ready for the tag titles. They can get ready to fight for a prize, even though it's not really on actual television. The only thing I'm worried about is being on top of the world. And that's why I went straight to Blackout, straight to the source. And I'm now going to beat you. You are in for a rude awakening. This entire community for the next, let me crunch the numbers here, for the next week, for the next 7 days, I'm going to shift the landscape of it. And it starts with me taking the BTW World Championship. Heroes and villains did not happen accordingly to my standards. It's fine. We just got done filming all the way up to July. And everything moving forward for Aaron Blaze is going to be super, super sweet, even though I can barely breathe. It's going to be great because I'm going to have one of the top world championships in the yard today around my waist. So, Blackout, let's see if you can do this on your own. Tom, thanks for having me. Sorry, I'm not really bringing that
No,
energy
it's
and hype
okay.
that I
I mean, hope
normally
you feel
bring.
better. Alex,
I mean, from seeing
But,
you in your first few matches here, we can see the energy. Blase.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can call me
And
Blase. You can call me
you're gonna be
Aaron. I don't
just
care.
like the West Coast Queen over here, and you're gonna choke against my Munster. You're going down, buddy.
Oh,
Nobody can beat this.
I didn't even know that he was in here, to
Nobody
be honest,
can
but
beat
okay.
this guy.
Well, he doesn't have to say much. He's the champion. He could say nothing and just sit there. I mean, he's taking that path. He's the incumbent, and incumbents don't have to do anything. All they have to do is go out there and do what they've continued to do, and that's his strategy. You, Aaron, obviously are going to focus on getting better
Wow,
between now and
giving
Tuesday.
yourself a belt, man, you're so tough. But I'm not gonna fight with the butcher man on the right of me or the left of me,
Well,
depending
yeah,
on how
you're
this is
right about
displayed. I don't
that.
care.
You're right about that. He makes up a belt that's quote unquote his own and walks around with it and says he wins 3 titles. He only won 2 last season,
Yeah,
Tom.
but yet
We've
certain
been
people want
through
to
this.
say I put myself over for belts. It's funny how that works. Yikes. But anyhow, I'm going to get a shower, unpack my stuff, transfer a bunch of footage because I have an actual company to run. Anyhow, Blackout, I hope you're ready because you're going to be left burnt out. Let's see if RTG and the Northwest Society gets involved, and you will further prove my point again that you're scared of the inevitable. Tom, thanks for having me, and Comatose, go fuck
We'll
yourself.
see.
See ya.
We'll take the button there. Yeah. Yeah, that was that for that. But we'll take that
Well,
off the screen.
I'm just gotta say, if you guys have watched a lot of last season, I let this guy go out by himself and he handled it. So, I don't foresee
Well,
me
look,
having to go
I
out
made the
against
point, and
Aaron.
we'll get to the chat. The chat wants to talk, and I'm going to give the chat an opportunity in a minute. Is that the champion doesn't have to say anything? He's the incumbent. All incumbents have to do is go out there and do what they've continued to do. So, Aaron Blaze is going to certainly make headlines, no question. People are going to talk about him being here and talk about winning another world title, but it's Blackout who's the champion. He's the incumbent. And again, what do we say all the time? Incumbents, they don't have to do nothing. They've got the base, they've got the title that everybody wants, and we'll have to see coming up on Tuesday, which is why you got to go hit the sub button for our friends in BTW. But let's get to the chat. A lot of people want to talk to you, and we'll see who else joins from BTW. Yeah, I mean,
Just want to say before, hi Zilla. Yeah, I knew that was going to be the first one.
Yes. What you want to say something, RTG?
Oh, I just wanted to say hi. I knew Zilla would be the first one, so I was going to say preemptive hi to her.
80% of the time, she's the first one. Yes. Thank you, Zilla. Thank you so much. And obviously, this wasn't you, but I can't even click on it here. Now I can click on it. Technology's interesting. Yes. Thank you for whoever it was. Ox McCoy was in the house. My buddy from our friends in the IMF. My buddy Torrance Banks, who's here next week, would like to say what's up from New York, from the Empire State, upstate in Buffalo. And hello. And Torrance always likes the introductions. I appreciate that very much. The man who was here yesterday, who was
grab me a
another contemporary of is Anthony Steele, wanted to say that everybody is here, and he is here, and we hope there's no dirt around, and let me get a yerp. And James Taylor liked the yerp. He'd like to say hello, and I think that's Anthony Steele's yesterday's show. I'm not sure why Anthony Steele came on. So that was yesterday's show, but I get it. That's for Il Drago. I get it. I get it now. That was for Il Drago, who was here yesterday. I get. Scratch what I said. I completely get it. Okay. Hello there. Mama Comatose is here. Mama Comatose, we always love Mama Comatose being here. We appreciate her so much. And I think she's rooting for Comatose, though, RTG. You're going to have to accept that. But
well, yeah, that's, parents, they make the mistake of trusting in their kids. You seen what happened last year.
You know what? We'll leave that at that. Thank you, Mama Comatose. Hello there. Silas Walker, who I know is going to be returning to the ring next weekend. This pencil pusher is the baddest guy in the ring. Ox is not a big fan of RTG, but you've got gold, so it doesn't really make a difference of who's fans and viewers or not. Hello to Silas. The legendary Doc Holliday, of course, the NEW original Riot in the Ring winner, and of course, a staple from the GBYWN. Doc, hope you're doing well. I just spoke to Rad Dad. Rad Dad's going to be coming back on here in a few weeks, and Blackout looks bored. He doesn't have to say anything. Blackout doesn't have to do anything. He is the champion. He is the incumbent, and he doesn't have to say a single word because he's got the title. Yes, thank you, Mama Comatose, for tuning in. Thank you so much for your support. I want to say hello to my buddy, Mr. AJ Storm, of course, who is back in IGPW here. Our friends in IGPW, of course, promo wrestling we love. And RTG is going to put Comatose in detention. I don't know about that. Comatose win. Well, that very well could be coming this Tuesday. We shall see. Give Comatose a follow on Instagram. And Silas, who's got his own management issues, is definitely not a RTG fan. RTG is getting a tough environment here tonight, but we'll certainly see. RTG looks like the type of tourist that come through the tropical islands, calling a lava, a rug, and asking if fruit pineapple goes on pizza. It's a tough crowd tonight, but you got the gold, RTG.
That's right.
You can't spell GOAT without G, baby. This kind of collusion is a legitimate ongoing issue. Silas Walker giving Comatose, a man they have quite a history together. They know each other very well, and he's giving him advice. Asking for a Mai Tai and a coconut shell, wearing flip-flops, khaki shorts, and an open-button Hawaiian shirt. That's certainly interesting. Thank you very much. Mai Tai Comatose is on fire. Yes, he is. And he is just like he is when he is butchering up those meats that we all enjoy. Thank you, Comatose, for that. Anthony Steele is not here. Yoshi Matsuda, I know, will be back here in a couple weeks. I'd like to say someone finally silenced the king. We shall see. Alzheimer's kicking in quick. Comatose with the chaser for his drink. Yes. Hello there.
Water?
Yeah, I don't know.
Water?
It's been an interesting last couple of nights. Let's put it that way. I've realized it ain't how many times you hold a belt, kid. It's how well you fight. Oh, right. You didn't know. Okay. Hit the sub button for our friends in BTW. Okay. Yes, hello. The man got the Rona. I don't know if Aaron Blaze got corona. I don't know if he got corona. He said allergies, but hello to this person. I don't know much about them, but we'll leave that at that. I'm going to give a piece of advice for an individual in this stream. If you feel that fits you, then so be it. You are too nice. That will be your downfall. I don't think he's talking about the three of yous. He was talking about the man that left. Interesting advice there for that individual. Interesting advice. RTG speaking facts. RTG is speaking facts. So there you go here. It's Silas Walker preaching. Who else we got here? 18-time champion in the yard. How many was booked by the actual party? I mean, Aaron Blaze is getting some tough competition here. Certainly, he's getting some hits here. But we'll have to find out. I mean, I don't know enough about that actual company. Yep. How you doing, AJ? How about instead of sending me unsolicited promotions, how about you shelf your ego, Blaze? Okay, Aaron Blaze is getting some hits, and I'm not sure why, but we thank everybody for tuning in. All in the span of a few years. Hello to AJ Storm. And Aaron Blaze is getting it's Aaron Staines. I don't know that his name is Blaze, but I mean I do appreciate it.
It's Blase.
Well, I mean Stain, Blaze, it's whatever it might be. And I do want to say hello to Chase Wakefield, who's doing better from the wildfires out there in Pennsylvania. Thank you very much for that. Anthony Steele, who says he agrees with James Taylor about Aaron Blaze comments there. Boy, who would have guessed that? Anthony Steele and James Taylor are pro blackout. I guess you never know. In 25 years, he's held 12 championships. Well, I didn't know anything about that. And there's Steele. Yes, Steele and Taylor back together again. Boy, hell is frozen over. 100% Anthony. I don't know what's going on here. Folks like to lie. I don't know anything. I don't know why this is coming up. Storm, what's good, brother? Anthony Steele is here tonight. He's popping. The elders even said 18 times sounds a little suspect. Boy, Aaron Blaze is getting. I think people. I think people.
You know what? You know what I think is if you got to talk about how many titles you've won, you should let your wrestling do the talking for you. Like, I'm a Grand Slam champion. I'm not going to sit here and say I've won, 20 something titles here in BTW. I'm a Grand Slam champion. I let my wrestling do the talking for me. If you got to come in here and brag about being an 18-time champion, that means you've lost a lot of titles too.
Well, that's the old theory in wrestling is that if you've been a champion as many times, that means you lost the title as many times. If you think about it, right? I mean, everybody talks about
calling time out there, Comatose.
I'm calling time out. I'm calling time out right now. How many times have you bragged about taking that Continental Championship from me?
I do that because I know it gets under your skin.
How many
I know
times
it pisses you off, boy. Every
how
time.
Many times
because,
have I heard
you know
that
why? Because when I lose, I retire. So yeah, I have a reason to brag about it.
And yet somehow
I have a reason to talk about
the Rumble, it's inconsequential. No,
it's not inconsequential.
It's a multi-man
it's an
match.
exhibition.
Like I sit here and complain about stuff like that. now, hold on. I've been sitting for a minute.
As well as I know, as soon as I enter that Rumble, everybody's gonna jump me.
And they probably will for good reason. But here's the key, ladies and gentlemen. I've been sitting here listening to all this. I've been sitting here listening to everything. I listened to everything Aaron Blaze had to say. I was sitting here listening to everything you had to say. I sat here and read the comments, and now here's what I got to say.
A lot of them.
Here's what I got to say, ladies and gentlemen. There's a reason Aaron Blaze didn't speak to me directly, and he never does. You want to know why? Because guess what? While he's doing this, like I said last time on this stream, I didn't give myself the nickname the King of the West. I didn't give myself it. It was given to me. Unlike someone that likes to call themselves the GOAT without actually earning it and actually wrestling in a ring, I am the man. I am your backyard wrestling interpromotional champion, and I promise you, RTG, if you are not worried about Comatose winning the BTW Rumble, and not only that, but winning the television title once again, then you are a damn fool. Because I'm going to do the same thing I did last year and make you look like an idiot. Because I'm going to hold a championship that means more than your own.
think you
2 of
misspoke
them.
there because I'm guessing that if you do win the Rumble, you're going after the heavyweight championship, not the television championship. But, you
I wonder
can go
why.
after that television championship. You want RJS, you can go after that. I know you guys have your little rivalry.
But what
Go
happens
after
if I
that.
come after Blackout? But what happens if I do want that heavyweight
He's going
championship,
to squash
RTG?
you like
I've
the
already
little
held the
bug that you
television
are.
championship.
Oh,
He's
baby,
going to
it is
squash you like
going
the little
here
bug.
like it has not been in a while on Sportswire Radio, and you can see that RTG and Comatose have no love for each other. It is all going to come down here this Tuesday, BTW Rumble 9, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please hit the sub button for BTW on YouTube, Born to Wrestle 3. Also, check them out on Instagram. Check out Comatose here on Instagram. And we are going to get to some more comments. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters here and all music matters here. It has been an interesting last few days on Sportswire Radio, and we are going to get to more of it. Ain't a whole lot chilling here. Yes, hello here to everybody here. Omen Black puts just dots. He puts just dots. And now that Mr. Ego Farmer is gone, hello, RTG and Clemens. I'm not sure how Aaron Blaze is now an Ego Farmer. He is getting a tough crowd here. Now, I don't understand why he's getting a tough crowd, but
Because the
he
King of
seems
the
to.
West is in the building, baby. That's why.
Well, you know what? It seems like Aaron Blaze is definitely he had John Cena treatment, some would say maybe, but the fans aren't cheering.
I don't know. Maybe backyard wrestling's getting sick of him or something. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out after Tuesday. And controversial words toward Aaron Blaze. Hello to everybody here in the chat. Hello there. Yep. Hello. Blade is in the house. Thank you to the legendary Blade, of course, is here. Hello to Doc Holliday. Hello to the missus of Miss Drago and Mrs. Drago. And Anthony Steele's not here, thankfully, to go after Mrs. Drago. And yes, the receding hair, Mr. Receding Hairline. I think I get the Aaron Blaze getting definitely some, let's just say, boo birds here out for him. Anthony
Y'all
Steele
see your what?
You'll see my comment was deleted. I don't know what the comment was. If you want to tell me what the comment, I see it here. Anthony Steele in caps locks wants to tell the world Aaron Blaze puts titles on himself anyways, which makes him even worse in caps locks, as I can see. Anthony Steele is not a fan of Aaron Blaze. I'm not still sure why that would be, but
I'm going to put a times on that too, and I'm going to break character a little bit. I just got to say, YouTube cracks down on certain things, bud.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't know that. But Aaron Blaze, Anthony Steele, I guess, won't be exchanging Christmas cards or maybe, let's just say, the cedar here for Hanukkah and stuff like that, whatever else you want to do. Yes, hello to everybody here. Who else we got here? Comatose equals king. Aaron Blaze equals an emoji to be named later. Quote, those sports fans. Anthony, this is why I like you. I'll just say it since no one can say it. Blaze. You know what?
That was so good, Dom. Oh my God. That was so good.
Was definitely Aaron Blaze definitely did exit stage left, and maybe it was a good thing in this case. I did Omen and it got deleted. Well, there you go. Yoshi Matsuda. The belts fight legit. Okay. Amen, Omen. And boy, you know what? I have seen it all. What I've noticed that Anthony Steele, Omen Black, and James Taylor are all on the same page about one thing. I have not seen that in a long time. And throw in Yoshi Matsuda, Il Drago, throw them in, and they're all on the same page. I bet Blaze is a better wrestler than you, Steele. Go back to the children's table. The adults are talking. Well, I mean, there you go. And now it looks like more Aaron Blaze, though, negativity, though. Let's throw Blaze in there as well. Instead of bragging about how many times you've won a title, how about you put up or shut up? Boy, I mean, the man shows up for 5 minutes and he's gotten 50 comments of negativity here. I don't know what the issue is.
I love these comments. I love
Once
them.
me and RTG on the same page.
Only 20, right? I mean, I don't know if this is a harbinger of things to come or Anthony Steele and James Taylor planning something. I just don't know, but I do see a lot of people here. So go hit the sub button for BTW. That would be nice. Also, Anthony Steele wants to say, To Mrs. Drago, Blaze wishes he could wrestle like me, and that's facts because dude needs to stay on the trampoline. Well, I don't know necessarily fully about that. I think that's I'm gonna let other people decide that. Sorry, King, I actually fight legitimately. Fake punching don't count. Anthony Steele is awesome, amazing, and cool. That is from Zilla. Steele talked about a bloodline, and our ancestors are as weak. Zilla, respectfully. Yeah, Anthony Steele says a lot of things. Not. I'm gonna say let's keep it to BTW, Zilla. I appreciate you, but we want BTW here. I promise you, during the week, we'll let you go on here. You get no love here. Here's what Blade would like to say. If I was in Oregon, I'd like to see RTG take Comatose and myself on in a tag match. The Rifle Club would dog walk his ass. Wow. Okay. The Rifle Club to Roseburg. I mean, who the heck knows? I mean, wow. We're getting some comments.
The BB Gun Club? What?
Now, Omen Black does want to say, by the way, Omen Black, the IMF champion, is the platform, and he is the IMF World Heavyweight Champion. Would like to say he would take that cute little belt from the old man in the right corner if he really wanted to. That's Omen Black. That's Omen Black.
Omen's a force.
I mean, if you want to, come to BTW and try. Nobody else that's come here has done it. So,
you know what? That's an excellent point. Maybe he'll show up. I'm just aiming at all shots. No one's safe from the strays. Okay. Who else we got? I think about 90% of this chat is not fans of Aaron Blaze. 90%. I think Zilla's a fan of Aaron.
I think Zilla's the only fan of his in here.
I mean, you know what? That's an interesting point. I don't know the numbers on that. But, I mean, look, you know what? Tuesday, if Aaron Blaze wins the BTW championship, it doesn't matter what the people think, right? I mean, if he does beat Blackout, now again, Blackout's the incumbent, but if Aaron Blaze wins the world title, do opinions matter? I mean, I don't know. I don't know that answer.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If he loses that title and then Comatose wins the Rumble on the same night, I don't know what it looks like.
I think it would look like that Comatose has been what he's been talking about the last few months, where he's talked about being the GOAT of BYW. That would certainly be somebody that would be backing up his words. Whereas Aaron Blaze, once again, should he lose the title on Tuesday, objectively speaking, I don't share the same sentiment as other people in the chat in terms of,
it's ours.
Neither do I. Aaron Blaze is top 5. I don't care what the people are saying in the chat.
If he does lose, it's another big match that he loses a main event for. He's lost the ROEW championship. We saw he lost that. If he loses here Tuesday, loses the BTW World Championship in his own company, YBW, where he's failed to win the YBW championship back. So you might be saying is instead of calling Aaron Blaze a champion that may or may not have put titles on himself, he's more or less becoming the Buffalo Bills. He's more or less becoming the San Francisco 49ers. Sorry, RTG of football most the last 5 years. Because
their last 3 Super Bowls they've choked, so I can't argue with that.
You and my mom both, bro.
But we'll have to find out. Comatose knows he's my brother. All here to fire him up. And Il Drago saying 98% of this chat is anti-Blaze. I'll be the devil's advocate. Aaron Blaze has a promising future. Yeah, I agree. I think Aaron Blaze is definitely a talent that's going to be seen more of. And I think we're all enjoying BTW and everybody else.
You know what? He might have a future, but it's not this season.
I don't hate Blaze, just annoyed by his recent action. I mean, I'll let Blaze answer those questions. Yeah, very feisty crowd tonight. But I think it's been the last few days on Sportswire. James Taylor was here Friday on his birthday. He was feisty. Anthony Steele was in rare form yesterday, talking about Darkron's cancer and nearly losing his fingers and burning the Ulafalas from Il Drago. We had Thursday Ramrock, who might be the biggest athlete I've ever had here on this platform, a man who just lost his Thunder Mountain Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, which, by the way, he had wrestled for that championship in front of 500 people. Then we had Maxwell Reeves and Tsunami, which was, a back and forth people are talking about. I had Jake Dvorak, and by the way, in between all of that, I had this guy, Mark Kendall, the guitarist of a band, Great White, which only had a song that hit number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100. And 2 artists that were ahead of him in the charts that year, 1989, some guy Prince and some guy Bobby Brown. What a last 5 days on Sportswire Radio. What did Aaron Blaze do? Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know. It's a clash of personalities. Yeah, I think that probably people have different opinions. I think that's a fair statement. Things that start out privately. Yeah, I think that's a good point. Let's go stick to what BTW has to offer. I don't know him at all, but he's about as cocky as Dominic Mysterio. Well, I mean, some would say though Dominic Mysterio's got Liv Morgan. I mean, I don't know if Aaron Blaze has got Liv Morgan, but
Can I say one more thing?
you can say 100 things you want because there's more
Okay,
comments.
cool. I really appreciate that. I know there is, but I just want to say this quickly because I want to be honest, and we're gonna break the fourth wall a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Blaze is a talent. He is a talent. He is a top 5 talent. He is very, very talented in the backyard wrestling community. And I feel like deep down, I know where this hate is coming from. And everyone needs to know here on Sportswire Radio, me and Aaron Blaze have squashed our stuff. Me and Aaron Blaze are fine. We are going to work with each other, and we are going to make history. Regardless of what people say or what they don't say, me and him are going to make history.
Yeah.
RTG and him are going to make history. RJS and him are going to make history. BES and him are going to make history. And you want to know why? That is because Aaron Blaze is talented.
Yes.
And
I agree.
coming from me, this should be saying a lot. I think it's time that us as a community stop shitting on people that actually put out for the community and start worrying about the people that damage the community.
Yeah, I think that. Listen, there's no question that I think that Aaron is, a very, promising talent, like Silas said. But I think there is, I'm going to do it. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to do it. But I'm going to do it in a very kind way. I think that Aaron is a great talent, but he has not shown up to certain places that I think that. I don't want to speak on behalf of those people. They can certainly speak on that. I don't want to turn it into this, but I think that he didn't show up to certain places that he may have promised that he was going to, or may not have. Again, I don't want to get in the middle, but I think it seems like that's maybe that. But again, I don't want to speak on behalf of anybody because obviously everybody comes on here, but I think that that's, could be some of that. It could be, but listen, I don't know. I also think people are upset because, Aaron Blaze was a part of some retracted companies that people felt that, he may or may not have known certain things. Again, I think Aaron is a great talent. I think Aaron will always enjoy him being on the platform, and we love BTW. I want to stick to BTW.
I just want to jump in and say, I don't know if you can hear me because your screen is frozen up.
We can hear you.
Okay, I just want to say this about Aaron. Just watch BTW this season and, formulate an opinion whether he sucks or not based on what he does in the ring against the guys here in BTW.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's the main point is that, listen, everybody, the past is the past. Let's go forward. I want to talk about BTW. We'll read these comments, but I'll get to a few more things. But if you are here,
I just want to say one more thing is,
please.
Something my mom told me when I was younger. Everybody has an opinion, and they're like assholes. They smell.
Yeah, you know what? I remember.
Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, and they all stink.
You know what?
So
and I agree. Listen, and when you do say these things here on Sportswire, we've had the celebrities on. We want them to keep coming here, but because they will look at this. Just me. We've been very fortunate. We've had Great White here, Kicks, the King's X, Zebra, Rhino, and Savio Vega, and Ramrock wrestling in front of 500 people. But I'll read the comments, but we'll leave it at that. Aaron Blaze is a loser, and what's up, Comatose? There you go. Mama Comatose. Building
the hate's still coming.
Hello. They're
it's crazy how much love I'm getting tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
By the way, RTG, I do
bang bang Niner game, Sylvia.
I have to say, I do want to say, I was rooting for the 49ers to win those last 3 Super Bowls, but they didn't win them. But that's the point.
I can't even be mad because that's my mom, but I'm just gonna say I'm a Bears fan.
James Taylor,
sorry.
BTW, how does it all make you feel to see someone like Blaze come into your promotion and say, this is number 19, baby? To him, your company is just a number. I think you guys just basically said, look, he's going to do great stuff here, and we're very excited to see him wrestle there. I think that's a great point. And by the way, Aaron Blaze has been a part of ROEW. I mean, that's, he's been a part of many promotions,
if I could,
sure.
I'm going to let RTG say something about that? Because I
Sure.
know there's probably something he wants to say about that, but I have
Absolutely.
something I want to say as well.
Sure.
I was just going to say, to me, we're bringing in whoever wants to come in to try and, build our brand up. If he brings more eyes to us, great. If he doesn't, I'm sorry about that. If he, him being here causes people to drop the channel or unsubscribe, that sucks. If it gets more subscribers, great. But we're in the business of meeting new people, giving people second chances.
Absolutely. No, I agree with that. I agree with
second,
that.
third chances. It's like we said, breaking the fourth wall or whatever here, I get on here and act like an asshole or whatever, whatever. But, we're like a family. Once you come here, you're part of a family with us, and we're not going to kick you to the curb unless you do something that's really, really, really bad and we find out about it. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody, so we're going to give you a chance, and we're going to, unless you give us a reason not to give you the chance or a reason to hate you, we're not going to hate you. So Comatose, you can say what you're going to say.
And to piggyback off of what RTG just said, I do have to say that is very much the case. And if we're gonna slander, I'm not gonna lie, breaking the fourth wall once again. I kind of take this a little personally because I know me and Aaron had our beef, but we settled it.
Yeah.
Here's my problem. If you guys are going to slander Aaron Blaze for winning, if he does win 19 championships, what the hell do you think I think about me coming back last year after 4 years of being gone? You guys were probably saying behind my back that this guy's just a clout chaser. This guy is just trying to make a name for himself. This guy's just trying to come back. This guy is just trying to get his 5 seconds of fame. So for people to sit here and say that Aaron Blaze is clout chasing just because he's trying to win another world championship and y'all don't even know if he does or not is a little insulting to somebody like me who, I'm not going to say I'll go talk to creative and say that I need to win a world championship immediately, but what I will say, it is disrespectful to say stuff like that as a person that has busted his ass for this company, and not only for this company, but for backyard wrestling as a whole for over a decade. Regardless of I've been gone for 4 years or not, putting myself in Aaron Blaze's shoes, y'all would make fun of me even fucking worse. Because I haven't won that much, because I haven't been here that long, because I haven't done as much as everybody else like Jack Delta, Aaron Blaze, and D'Angelo LaFlame, just to say a few names. But regardless of that, you can see the passion in our heart. Like Triple H said on a podcast not too long ago, there's only a few people that he knows that truly know the business. And unfortunately for Triple H, he doesn't know the backyard wrestling community. We do this for free. We do this simply out of the passion of our heart, and that comes along with people like Aaron Blaze.
Yeah, no, listen, I agree that, listen, we need to let's focus on the positives. Let's try to focus on positives.
Now back to kayfabe. It doesn't matter because Aaron Blaze ain't winning a 19 title when he comes out here. So it don't give I don't care what happens. This guy is not losing to Aaron Blase. It's not happening. Okay.
I'll leave
so,
the chair out of the shower. People trying to come at me for showcasing passion for this, and they can take it how they want. Yeah. Keep doing what you're doing. Yes. And I like Aaron, and I want to focus on the positives. If you have that much of a problem with me, take it up with me. Don't follow me on social media. Don't sneak diss me because you're mad about this and that. Don't have anything to do with you. Yeah, I think that people let's focus on the positives, and that's what I want to say. I don't care because I'm going to keep doing me, but it's sad how people twice my age act like how. Okay, we're closing in on these comments. I got it. I'm not going anywhere. BTW is great. I look forward to the shows. Even if my boy Comatose leaves BTW, I'm not unscribing. I'm a fan of BTW. I agree with that. Knock me all you want, but I went all the way across the country for a week for the community and for myself to be a better wrestler. I'd like to see the ones clicking on doing the same thing. And I'm still a fan of Aaron Blaze. Yes, me too. I don't think it's that deep, but the Samoan Dragon is always about entertainment and support in character or not. But if someone like me claimed all those titles I won from the backyard to now, it'd be an obnoxious member as well. Obnoxious, I apologize. But along the way, you get to what really counts, and it doesn't. Sometimes the stigma between backyard to pro. That's why we're doing what we're doing now to help close that gap. Okay, great stuff, and I appreciate everybody's passion. I want to talk about BTW for a few more minutes, and I appreciate the passion. I appreciate all the wrestlers that are here in the chat, and I appreciate especially RTG and BTW for being here, taking time out of their day to come on to Sportswire. And I want it to be where all the wrestlers can come here. Everybody, I see Silas is with DBW. DBW is back here in about 7 to 10 days. And of course, we love IMF and ROEW, and I want to keep it. Also, the celebrities who watch these shows, we don't want to show this negativity. We want to keep the big names coming here. The great stuff. But let's get to some final words. I want to give both of you guys the opportunity to ask one another a question. I'm going with you, RTG, first, because you're the guy that's got the championships. You're the guy right now that's got Blackout next to you. And do you want to ask Comatose anything before we get to final thoughts or anything else, sir?
Comatose. So, we got something in common Tuesday. We're both pulling double duty. We're both in championship matches. Of course, I'll keep mine, and of course, you'll choke in yours. But then we'll meet up in the Rumble. And, if all things go the way they should go, I'll be tossing your ass out over that top rope. But we know that's not going to happen. We know everybody's probably going to jump me and beat the crap out of me. And, because everybody hates me because I'm the GOAT here. So I just got to know, how's it going to feel to lose to RJS one more time?
Oh, wow. Okay. So to answer your last question first, as a proper promo artist would, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not getting pinned by RJS. If anyone's pinning me, it's going to be the person that has to prove themselves, Mad Jack. And not only would he be able to pin me, he'd probably pin RJS. Because let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have anything to prove in your company. Like these comments are going on and on and on about, I'm not Aaron Blaze. You know who I am. I've been in your company for over a year now, and I've dominated the scene. I've beaten Swift like you have so vicariously gone on about all night. I've beaten RJS. I've beaten BES. I've beaten every single member of the BCF, and I've beaten all your little undercard guys. It's just fate that Comatose wins the BTW Rumble and takes the heavyweight championship away from someone you call your monster. Let me remind you, RTG, I'm not RJS.
You're
The
pissing him
monster is
off.
awake. The
You're
monster is
pissing him off,
alive. He's alive.
Comatose.
It's alive.
I hope
It's
he's alive, ladies and gentlemen, because I am the Backyard Wrestling Interpromotional Champion, and you can hold that championship all you want and do this all you want. All I gotta do is put a crown on and take the championship
Heavy wears
from
the
you.
crown. Heavy wears the crown. The champ is away. The champ is left. The champ is left. The champ is beaten up.
You're right, Comatose. You're right. You can put your crown on and you can be the West Coast Queen and hold the championship.
Oh, you know what?
You're right.
I can see this is getting toward the end of the show because Blackout has had enough. He's sat through the entire evening of the back and forth. But now he's just focusing on less than 48 hours from now when he keeps that BTW championship, because he has had all of this talk about Aaron Blaze this, Aaron Blaze that. He's seen Comatose here talk about being the king of the West, being the GOAT, and now he's just that monster. And you know what? You better just lock the doors. You better just throw the key away until Tuesday, 6 o'clock Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we go on YouTube at Born to Wrestle 3. Hit that sub button.
You know what, Comatose? You know what, Comatose? I just got to say thank you for doing that. Thank you for angering my Munster. Now he is going to be more focused to tear Aaron Blaze from limb to limb in that championship match come
You know what? Maybe
Tuesday.
this is the worst thing that Aaron Blaze had to deal with tonight. Forget about these comments. Forget about these different people in the chat.
He's got a pissed off Munster now.
The worst thing Aaron Blaze is going to have to deal with is going to be Blackout coming up here this Tuesday, less than 48 hours away from now. Comatose, do you want to say anything toward this or anything else before we get to close? Because obviously I could see now you've enraged the monster, and the monster is alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh man, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me the opportunity to absolutely tear the assholes. Beep, Tom. I want the beep.
I got it, actually.
The ass. Here it goes. The BTW. I am going to prove to you. I'm going to prove to you, RTG. I'm going to prove to you, Blackout. And I'm going to prove to your little man, Gabriel James, that I came here to BTW for a reason. And ladies and gentlemen, that's not it. The stories and the headlines to take a shot just get bigger. Ladies and gentlemen, not only is Comatose signed to BTW, but Comatose just signed to a promo federation to take on James Taylor and everyone on the roster because Comatose is the best in the yard.
This guy here? You're going to go have a promo battle with him one-on-one?
One-on-one after I take out all the competition. I want James Taylor one-on-one on the stick.
James Taylor versus Comatose in a promo match? Oh, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to talk about shots fired? This might be nuclear bombs being fired. Forget about this. Could be almost like Russia and Ukraine. I mean, oh, my goodness. Oh,
IGPW, BTW, IGPW. Comatose is a member of not only the BTW roster, but he's a member of the IGPW promo
I think
roster.
Taylor's blown away. Comatose and James Taylor one-on-one in a promo match? It seems like that's what Comatose wants. And I guess Comatose is getting it.
You want to talk about a busy weekend for Comatose? Comatose has to take on RJS and Mad Jack in a triple threat for the television title. And then not only that, he has to go into a 15-man rumble to cement his legacy as the #1 contender of the heavyweight BTW championship. And then that's not all, ladies and gentlemen. To even give you more of a bigger headline like nobody else could, Comatose joins the IGPW roster.
Now that, ladies and gentlemen, that's a headline. That's a headline because Comatose now is going to be doing double duty here. Double duty. And man, Comatose. I don't know if that's what is that, but I guess we'll have to figure it out.
I hope so, James, because guess what? This isn't the IMF. This is Comatose. You're not in a company. You're going against someone that has no restrictions.
Well, you know what? I guess Comatose is going to be doing double duty each week. You're going to see him coming up, obviously, in BTW's Rumble 9 this Tuesday, but now he's the newest member of IGPW, which is one of the premier up-and-coming promo wrestling companies. So could Comatose be looking for more gold, more things to do? It sounds like the answer to both is yes, and we'll have to see. And I need an extra bowl for that, Mama Comatose. Yeah, whatever that might be. Yeah, it's going to be good. Justin Parsley said hello. I don't know what he said, but I'll read it off. Evening, Mrs. Comatose. Yes, thank you for letting us know that is her name, Mrs. Mama Comatose. Aaron Blaze is ready for Blackout. We'll have to find out coming up on Tuesday. Also here, I don't know where. Hello to Darkron. How you doing, Mr. Darkron? And also, I think James Taylor is speaking about something else. And I don't know what Justin Parsley's talking about. Comatose, I don't remember thinking you was actually in my league when it comes to the microphone.
Hold on,
Well,
ladies and
Oh, it seems like you're
James
getting the
Taylor.
blackout
Let me
treatment there.
remind you of who I am, James Taylor. James Taylor, you might be a legend in the yard, but you are nothing when it comes to Comatose on the stick.
I'll get that Jack and Coke right. You know what? Well, obviously, he wants a sample. Well, obviously, you'll have to see in, I guess, IGPW, but obviously, a lot to look forward to. Anything you guys want to say for final words? Anything related to this Tuesday? I'll put the poster up for that while Comatose recalibrates. I'll give RTG the opportunity for some final thoughts. I know that certainly Blackout is now going to be for the next 48 hours like a monster loose. And let's just say feed my Frankenstein was what you'll be doing, RTG, to quote a famous Alice Cooper song. But I'm going to give you the floor, Mr. RTG. And anything else you want to plug, take it away.
Comatose, I just got one last thing to say to you. You listed off a bunch of people that you beat last season, but in those names, not one of them was anybody in the Northwest Society. And if you do win the Rumble and you do get your shot at the Munster, that's Northwest Society and you're losing. Just like Aaron Blaze is going to get squashed Tuesday by Blackout, you will get smashed by Blackout if you win that Rumble. And who knows, maybe I'll put Gabriel James against you for that interpromotional championship and take that off you too. But BT, everybody out there, tune in Tuesday. You're not going to regret watching the Rumble. We'll see you then.
Please hit the sub button for our friends at BTW. And the High Chief talks will be back hopefully in the next week or two. I'll talk to the High Chief about that in a minute. And thank you, Silas. And I'll give a plug to DPW. They're going to be back this coming Saturday. So we'll have coverage for that. I spoke to some of the guys about that. And Silas is one of those people that is going to come back to the platform. I'm very excited about that. And we'll definitely let that happen, for a future episode because we're going to close the show here in a minute. But
hey James, yeah, come on, I'd like to see it.
Oh well, then okay. Well, if that's what you want, then I'll let Comatose have his final thoughts.
If him and Comatose want to go on, I'm down to watch this.
Oh well, then I guess if that's what the people want that? I mean, do you want? I thought IGPW wants that, but if you want that, I'll bring James Taylor on. I mean, I would say
I want to see how good both of these guys are. I mean, like I say, I don't watch a lot of other companies, so
if it was me, I'd just say, well, we don't want the heavy metal bands to see James Taylor and Comatose go to blows.
I mean, I know Comatose, I know how good he is, but I don't watch the other.
I just want to make sure that
watch the other companies. So I mean, if he wants to come in on our time and the two of them go at it, I'm down.
You're a nice shiner, by the way. Well. Call me. I'll be there.
Well,
yeah. Well, he can
you get mouthy. That's what happens, Well,
I mean, do it.
Hold on a minute. Put that last one up.
Yeah, promo battle.
No, I'm talking about the one at Aaron Blaze.
Oh, he can make me a steak after I win. Well, I mean, technically you couldn't, but you can.
So, are you, Aaron? Are you saying you want Blackout to stick you on the grill and make you a steak for himself? Is that what you're asking for? Because that's what's going to happen. He's going to tear you limb from limb. You might as well throw an arm on there, cook it up, and eat it.
And just to let you know, James Taylor, he did see the link, and he's clicking on the link. So he'll be here. He will be here. We'll do a few minutes.
I can't face you in the ring, James. So all I can do is face you on the stick.
No, I mean, you never know. I mean, you may face each other in the ring. I can't.
Hopefully, but one of us has a lot more in the tank than the others. So we can both talk all we want, but we both know when it comes to action, who's got more gas.
Well, I mean, obviously we'll
You know what,
out.
Comatose? That those guys can go. So shut up.
Yeah, James,
I took this off you. Remember that.
I love how you took offense to that, RTG, because you're in the similar age range.
Also, wow,
I'm
28
probably older.
steaks a month. Wow, that's a lot of steaks. I don't know if I've
Oh,
had
shit.
28. I don't think I've had
Boy,
28
I'd
in
be
my life.
busy if you hired me. I'd be busy. Holy shit!
I don't know if I've had 28 steaks in my life, but James Taylor has arrived. James, good evening, I suppose. And I think I know why you're here. You want to
I
tell
was
us?
invited. I don't know. I was just saying. I mean,
Oh,
if he's feeling froggy and he wants to talk a little trash. I mean, I didn't know that I was signed up to any matchup against
I
You
didn't
are
know
not
GT
either.
signed up
kid.
to anything yet, James Taylor. What I am saying to you is I'm coming for you.
Please don't. I
What do you
think it would be
mean?
great. I think it would be great if you just sit back and let the real main event guys on the mic do their thing while you sit there and jerk your little curtains like the little shiner you got in your eye. Because if you mess with me, I'd swell your peepers shut. I promise you. But I'm going to give you a chance if you want one.
Ladies and gentlemen, James Taylor of the ROEW management. Let's pause it at that. Ladies and gentlemen, he's talking about my shiner. He's talking about how the main event guys should be focused on the promo matches. Ladies and gentlemen, this is coming from the legendary James Taylor, who has fought a multitude of legends in the yard, who has gone to IMF and proved that he can bump in a ring. And now, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to Comatose, all of a sudden, Comatose should stay in the ring and stay off the mic when it comes to James Taylor. If you ask me, that sounds a little suspect. Just because James Taylor has such a legacy and he's afraid of a 23-year-old coming on the mic and tearing his asshole apart.
Is that it? Is that it?
I'm
Please
gonna
tell me
let
you
you
got
speak.
more.
I'm gonna let you speak, Stone Cold.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm thirsty. Now, um,
Was that the Hulk Hogan beer?
before you get the knock
Stone
on the
Cold
Stone
beer, it looks
Cold
like.
shit.
I
Oh,
know.
it's a 316. Oh my God, how did I know?
How did you know? Right. As far as me bumping in the ring, that's no problem for me because I love to bump. I mean, you act like you've never seen that before. Comatose, if
Oh
I
no, I
traveled
have, and
up to
that's why I gave you
Oregon,
my props.
see,
That's why I
hold
gave you my
on, I
props.
let you talk. Now it's my
No,
turn to talk. So
I'm
keep
letting
your
you
mouth
talk.
shut.
I'm just saying, I'm giving you props. You
Respect
can
your
bump in a
elders.
ring. Don't get it twisted.
I ain't got nothing twisted. I'm just going by what you say because that's what you said. So you calling me a liar, right? So sit there and puff on
What
your
I'm
little vapor
saying is
rub.
don't take offense to something I said if you misunderstand it, because I know you can bump
I'm
in the ring,
not. The
James
only
Taylor.
thing that kind of I guess is kind of bothersome because I don't swing that way is the fact that you have some type of obsession with assholes. But hey, that's you and that's your stick. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do me. And if I decided to come up there to Oregon, I've been to Oregon. Nice place,
Oh
beautiful
yeah.
country, seen the beach side. Now, look, if you're gonna do a promo with somebody, you gotta learn to wait your turn, okay, sweetheart? So I've been up there to Oregon, and if I came to a BTW arena and I stepped in between those ropes, I would knock your ass out, period, within maybe 60 seconds. It'd take two moves and I would decimate that entire locker room, and that's including you. Now I like you. The only thing I need you to do is stay in your own lane and stay out of mine, and everything will be just fine. Do you understand me, King? Because if you do, you're
What
gonna
I'm
understand
understanding
one
is
thing.
this. What I'm understanding is this, in ignorance. In ignorance of the fact that maybe because I am 23 that you take me for advantage. Maybe it's because that I'm 23 that you don't see me as a competition, but let me remind you, James Taylor, you might be the ROEW manager, but I am the backyard wrestling. Backyard wrestling. That includes IMF. That includes ROEW. That includes BTW. That includes all of the companies. I am the backyard wrestling interpromotional champion. And that didn't come for just my in-ring experience, because trust me, James Taylor, if you stepped in a ring with me, it would not be pretty. And just because you're 40 years old and have 20 more years of experience than I do doesn't mean a damn thing. You want to know why it doesn't mean a damn thing? Because I faced some of the best in the yard and beat them, just as you have, James Taylor. So What is a challenge but a challenge if I'm asking for the Tyrant King to come one-on-one with the King of the West in a ring? But of course, James Taylor, we know that's not going to happen. So what's the best thing that's going to happen? It's going to be me and you on the stick in a promo battle. Because that's the closest we're getting to it, buddy. And it doesn't matter if you respect me or if I respect you, because I respect the hell out of you. What I do know is this: 365 days as an inter-promotional champion of backyard wrestling is a lot more than your 25-year career.
Congratulations. I mean, there's some truth to what you say. I get that, Comatose. You may be a king over there in the West, but you see, I am a tyrant king, and you know that. You know that I'm a tyrant king. But do you understand what that means? I am the tyrant king in all of wrestling. That's all of wrestling. Backyard, underground, indie, pro, on the promo, with the microphone, everything, whatever it has to do. If wrestling's in the name, I'm the king of it. I am the tyrant king in all of wrestling. Can't nobody stop me. You got to understand something, kid. You are 23 years old. I am not knocking that, because there was a one time in this life when I was 23 years old. And when I was 23 years old, I thought I could take the world. But you know what happened to James Taylor? I was humbled. I was humbled bad. And you know, I had to learn how to eat shit and like the taste of it, so that way I can see what it takes to scratch and claw to be somebody in this business. And you don't know what that means yet. You've held whatever championships for 365 days. Congratulations. That's just a number. Now the real number is how many more days until it's no more. Because your 365-day plus reign means nothing. Right where your 2 feet stand every single time you step on a trampoline, whether you step on the ground or you step in a 16 by 16, 18 by 18, or even a fucking 20 by 20 ring, you will learn and understand
Little late
that
there, Tom.
I am one of
I
the
know.
pillars. I am one of the pillars in all of wrestling who has paved the ground that you fucking stand on, Mr. Comatose. So understand, you are nowhere even in this league yet. One day you're going to be one of the greats, but right now ain't your time, boy.
Let me remind you something of James Taylor.
Hang on,
You might
Toasty. Go
call
ahead.
me, you might say that I'm not one of the greats. You might say that I'm not one of the top 5. You might say that I'm not one of the best, but let me remind you of something. I am a 23-year-old interpromotional champion that has caught your attention, and now you're at the best of your game because we are on a podcast called Sportswire Radio. And once again, let me just remind you, James Taylor, you've never stepped in a ring with me. You've never stepped on a promo stick with me. All you know is your ROEW guys and your IWP or whatever the hell it is, guys. You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. And let me tell you something, James Taylor, just to bring you up with the times, because we know how you and RTG are with the dust and the smoke and the kitty dust that comes from you guys, because you guys are so damn old. Let me remind you of who I am. I'm not Aaron Blaze. I'm not Jack Delta. I'm not even D'Angelo LaFlame. I am motherfucking Comatose. I am the guy that is going to take you off of your spot when it comes to being on the stick. And it might not be in a ring. It might not be an IMF. It might not even be an ROEW, but it damn sure will be in this promo federation.
Okie dokie. Well, Comatose, more power to you. I hope it all works out. If we get signed to a match, just understand that it's your funeral. And I mean, you're the one that's asking for this. I'm not. I didn't even know. I just got wind of it. Here I am minding my own business, running some YouTube channels, doing what I got to do to get the job
Taffy's
done.
Lounge, check out, by the way, I'm checking out the YouTube of the live of Taffy's Lounge. 21 people were in the stream around 6 o'clock Eastern time today.
And actually, about an hour ago, I had up to 44 people at once. So,
Well, you know
And
what?
if I will say, his
thank you for
channel
the
is
plug.
amazing. His channel is amazing, and he is an amazing promo artist. I have the absolute utmost respect for someone like James Taylor. I'm not going to talk disrespectful about you besides the fact that you are ancient. I'm not going to talk any crap about you because I know what your talent is. The only person I'm talking crap about is the person right above me. And the only person that I want one-on-one is you. So please, James Taylor, while you may be the Tyrant King, humble yourself in the presence of a king of the West.
Okay. Well, then I'll say this finally. I thought we were done, but that's where you're still young and green and you're still learning. When you talk trash to somebody, get to the point. You're getting to your point, but there's no believability. I don't believe you, Mr. King of the West. I don't believe you, Comatose. I hear doubt in your voice. There's not enough bass in your voice because when you talk to me, I sense that fear that you have because I am unlike anybody you've ever stepped into the ring or stepped into the mic with, period. I'm not, no disrespect to RTG, no, well, disrespectful to Aaron Blaze and other people at that. I'm not Omen Black. I'm not Anthony Steele. I'm not controversial. I'm not Darkron. I'm not Jack Delta. I'm whatever you want to say. No disrespect to him.
And definitely
But
not
I'm
that
not
guy.
like anybody else.
And
Yeah,
definitely
Jack
not that
Nicholson. Jack Nicholson's a good guy. Go
This
check him
Jack
out.
Nicholson needs to show up in a certain Rumble.
But,
Just
yeah,
to put that out there.
I'm not like anybody you've ever had the opportunity to go one-on-one with. That's whether on the mic or the ring. That's all I'm going to leave it at. You will be humbled very soon. And it might not be me. It could be somebody else. It could be anything. But you ain't had that humbling yet that you think you have had. And once you do and you understand what it takes to be in this business, then when you're my age, yeah, I'm 41 years old and I'm happy that I've made it to 41. But when you hit my age, let's see if you could still do what I do. Because I know deep down in your little black heart, Mr. Comatose, right now you can't.
Well,
So there you go.
Well, I'll tell you what. I do hope for one that we could see a match, a promo match between Comatose and James Taylor. I certainly hope that IGPW will be listening. But until then, I am going to be watching eventually on Tuesday, and I hope you'll join me in BTW's Rumble 9. It's going to take place. RTG is in action. He'll be defending that Continental Championship against El Basico. Comatose will be in action in a triple threat match for the Television Championship, a title he once held. He'll be in the ring again with RJS and Mad Jack. Also, these two men will be in the 15-man Rumble, and the Tag Team Championships will be defended by the Northwest Society. You can check that out on the BTW YouTube page, Born to Wrestle 3. And you can also follow Comatose on Instagram. Check him out on Facebook as well. And yeah, it was very good stuff. I enjoyed the show. Thank you, Mama Comatose. Yes, I agree. Tune in to BTW. Yes, it is already for the membership members. You already can see the show. And Smirnoff Straight. The only thing I drink is soda, which is Mountain Dew, which I have a stomach ache from right now.
If I can answer that question real quick, it is because
Zero.
it's because of pain.
Yeah, I should have did that. I should have did zero. What's that?
It's because of pain. That's all I'll say. I'll say pain.
Oh.
I've got a lot of pain in my body that I don't like to talk about because I do want to be the best in the backyard, and I feel like bitching about your pain is a pansy move.
Well, I tell you what, I did appreciate you with Comatose. You did turn me on to Baja Blast from Mountain Dew, but yeah, I'm a part of the crew.
I hope I never turn you on to Smirnoff.
I don't drink. I don't drink. I don't
Thank
actually.
God.
Actually,
Thank
no,
God.
I don't. I don't drink. My mother was like, "Oh, do you drink?" I'm like, "Nah, I never drink. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Nothing." But I do drink. Yes, I've always had Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew since I'm a little kid. The can of sodas, and we had a vending machine on 3rd Avenue and 74th Street in Bay Ridge, and I would get a can of soda for 50 cents. Now it's like $2. But Tylenol, yeah, Tylenol, I don't do that. But I tell you what I do. I will definitely do the do, but we will definitely have more BTW coverage. And our cat is here. Rhea is here. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Please hit the sub button for BTW. We were joined here by Blackout, who the monster is definitely loose, and RTG, of course, who's 1/3 of the tag team champions. Also, he is our Continental champion, our GM, 3-time Hall of Famer. Also, we were joined by Aaron Blaze, who was here. Yeah, the BTW champion Blackout. We have Comatose, who is the king of the West, looking to be the GOAT of BYW, the interpromotional champion from BYW. And James Taylor here alongside his cat. And my name is the Reverend Tom Bryson. And I heard that Blackout's off doing right now. Yeah, whatever it might be, I thank everybody for tuning in. Please support BTW. If you'd like to hit the sub button for us, I'd appreciate that as well. If not, I'll be here tomorrow with Michael McMoney of the Legit Alternative Wrestling Company. He is a part of the Law Council. He is also part of the West Virginia Wrestling Federation, and he's getting us ready for their show in Parkersburg, West Virginia on Wednesday. So we will be in the professional wrestling world tomorrow. Who knows where we'll be next week, but we'll probably have a lot more wrestling coverage because we're all Wrestling Matters and we're all Music Matters. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, on the number one global radio station that is Sportzwire Radio, where all music matters, all wrestling matters, and please support BTW, and I'll see everybody for more BTW coverage soon. Have a great night and enjoy.